Alright, enough of that silliness. What we're here today is to say, hello everybody. Welcome to the channel where we talk about books, some good, some bad, and some very, very average. It is my job to categorize these books to you as such, so that you do not waste your time and hard-earned money. So, without further ado, let us start the video with this little spark of a novel. Firestarter by Stephen King, published way back in the year of our Lord, 1980. I know that year probably predates 90% of you, and I was only 4 myself. Firestarter clocks in at a very manageable 151,000 words, or 428 pages, if you prefer that better. I hate it when someone says they're 190 centimeters tall or that they weigh 95 kilograms. I don't even know what that is. Use American numbers, for God's sake. Oh, God. Firestarter is my second read-through. There are about a dozen or so King books left that I haven't read for a second time, and I'm slowly making my way through them. The last time I read this one was in the early 90s when I was a teenager. So, I don't remember a lot of the minor plot points. Since the book is exactly 45 years old, and since most people already know what the general idea of the story is about, I won't be too concerned with giving anything away. Let's refresh, shall we? Charlie McGee is a little girl 8 to 10 years old who was born with the power to make anything combust into flame, a power called pyrokinesis. As she gets older, that power increases to the point that she blows up a lot of shit, including some bad guys chasing her. They, part of an operation called The Shop, want to capture her and put her in a safe place because they think that by the time she reaches age 20 or so, she'll have nuclear capability. And they'd like to harness that capability for themselves, for their government, against other nations. And there you go, what everybody knows. What you might not know is that the human villain in this one is one messed up individual by the name of John Rainbird, a Native American assassin who stands 6 feet 7 inches tall and has some PTSD issues from none other than Vietnam. This villain ranks right up there with Greg Stilson from The Dead Zone and Annie Wilkes from Misery. Definitely a type who could possibly show up in your nightmares. Charlie and her dad Andy are on the run from The Shop, that secret governmental group that operates just above the law. The relationship between her and Andy is a wholesome one, and Andy only wants to protect his daughter, like any good father would. But while on the run, we get to see snippets of what Charlie can do. When King goes into his descriptions and characters of The Shop, he probably stays at it a little too long. Big surprise, huh? The characters outside of Rainbird are not that interesting, and we just want to get back to what Charlie and Andy are doing, okay? Can we please? The big chapter in this one is the incident at the Manders farm. This is where Charlie goes off big time for the first time in the book, when a few guys from The Shop sort of corner her at the Manders farm. My second time around, I was excited to reread this part, and it does not disappoint. After her and Andy escape that predicament, Rainbird ends up capturing them and are then taken hostage inside the quarters of The Shop, while the men in charge run their tests. This is where the book really lags. I understand that Rainbird had to get to know Charlie on a personal level so that he could develop her trust, but did it have to go on for 150 friggin' pages? No, it did not. What the actual... Blah. At 16 years old, I could not make it through this part because it was too boring. I had to read something else, then force myself to read 5 or 10 pages a day until I was through to the final act, which is pretty good. That boring part is exactly the kind of exposition that deters people from reading today. Maybe it wasn't a problem in 1980, but nowadays, nobody's going to read through that building relationship stuff and have any fun with it. Nobody. But if you did, then please let me know down below. And so, as I said, the final act is pretty good, but it was rare for King to have a bad ending back in those early days. Overall, I give this book a soft 8 out of 10. If there were more instances of Charlie going off, and less character development for minor characters of the shop, and less exposition of Charlie and Rainbird, then this would have easily been a 10 out of 10. There are obvious similarities between Charlie McGee and Carrie White from Carrie. We all know what Carrie did during prom night, and we can all assume that Charlie does pretty much the same thing when she's being held captive, just with fire. So the question is, should you read Firestarter? If you are a diehard Stephen King fan and somehow missed this one, then yes. If you have a goal of reading every King book, then obviously. If you like reading about people dying in fires, okay, give it a shot. But you won't get a lot of it. Just some. If you don't like long expositions between the good scenes, then you might want to read something else. King has far better books out there. Or you can just watch the Drew Barrymore version and say you have read the book. Believe it or not, I know a lot of people who do that kind of crazy shit. I'll say, "Oh my God, have you read the book?" And they'll say, "Oh, sure. I read that thing way before the movie came out." You know, I don't even know what to call those kinds of people. Maybe you can help me out. If you have any suggestions, then leave them down below. And I'll be sure to include it in my next novel, which will hopefully be out next year. Scary factor for this one? I'm trying to put myself in an average brain. I'd say about a 3 out of 10. But to be fair, if this happened in real life and people were being set on fire around you, you'd be on your knees, shitting your pants and begging the little girl for mercy, with tears streaming down your face and your hands clasped in desperate prayer. Just saying, just putting it out there. You know it's true. So that is Firestarter. If you read it, then tell me what you thought of it. Would you recommend it to anyone? Would you loan out an original first edition hard copy to anyone? Me? Hell no, I wouldn't. And hey, I do appreciate those who have subscribed to my channel from my last video. Please keep them coming. If you like this one, then please click that like and subscribe. What's one more channel added to your list, huh? It's not like I post all the time. You won't see this ugly mug on your YouTube page too often. I will be entertaining. You can bet on that. Now, where's my finger at? Watch this video if you want to see my top 10 Stephen King books of all time. I can guarantee you will not see a top 10 video quite like this one. Sit back with some food, maybe some popcorn, and enjoy. Viktor Wolfe, blowing out the candles. Oh, it's getting dark in here. And, oh, woo. And we're gonna jump in the fire. Viktor Wolfe out.